All
And
right.
it is
I agree to
live.
recording and live streaming. Hello, everyone. The thousands tuning in around the world to Earl and the Idiot. Should we just go ahead and play the intro now that we got it all worked out?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, let's fire up Mr. Intro. Give me 2 seconds here. I gotta hit share. Good to go. Bring it on.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Hello, welcome to Earl and the Idiot. That was the intro from my good friend Jason McKinnon, who is starring in a Hallmark movie I just saw on his Instagram account. Well, starring. He's in a Hallmark movie. I just saw the trailer, a little clip of him. I think he might be the bad guy. You know, there's the bad man,
He's
and then
got
there's the
a
wholesome
cool
man.
voice for both sides. I think that voice could be good for good and evil.
He's versatile. He can do it all. So that's you see, he's so layered and nuanced. You don't know. You're not like, oh, he's obviously the villain or he's obviously the good guy. He keeps you guessing. I will be absolutely riveted to that Hallmark movie. Let me tell you, when I inevitably watch it.
But if it's a Hallmark movie, isn't it pretty much kind of the same? It's always the same kind of bad guy. It's always the guy who doesn't want to
don't spoil
time...
it for me, man. Don't spoil it for me.
No? They all kind of follow the same premise. I think
this could be the one that bucks the trend. Who knows?
Oh, maybe that'd be great. You're just expecting and it just hard zag. It's like, whoa, what the heck's going on?
Maybe they've been getting my letters.
Who knows?
Well, welcome, Earl Formata, marketing genius. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Today is Ninja Academy hat day because I'm running on a hat. So
bring that closer to the camera.
It's a little blurry. It's a little blurry, but it says Ninja Academy on it.
Now, is that an actual Ninja Academy for ninjas, or it's like one of those computer hacker ninjas, which you meet far more often than the real ones?
It's an anime. It's an anime. So there's a long running anime called Naruto, which it's been running for like years.
Naruto.
It ended. There you go. So this is Naruto's stuff, man.
Oh, Naruto attends the Ninja Academy.
That's right.
Is that where they teach you to run?
The whole run with your arms behind your back, and this is how where you throw those little kunai things. So they have those. Okay. They have those kunai. It's neat. I'm a martial artist, so every corner of my house has these throwing knives sitting around somewhere. So if bad guys ever raid the house, depending on which room they get, that's what they're gonna get. So
there you go. It's it's like the medieval sword guys. They just waiting for a break in. Come on.
Yep. Just pick the room. Okay, know what the weapon is. Excellent. So
my favorite thing in the universe about the Naruto run was, do you remember when they had the Area 51 raid?
Yes, absolutely.
And they said we're going to Naruto run to avoid the bullets.
Yeah.
A video came out. I don't know if you saw this. A video came out of an army officer having to brief his men on what a Naruto run was exactly. And he had to do it in front of them just because they actually had to be briefed, because who knew if someone was going to take this seriously and actually try to breach Area 51. So there was actually a completely serious, non-tongue-in-cheek briefing on what a Naruto run is and how to spot it.
That's special. That's
Isn't that amazing?
Special, honestly.
Absolutely amazing. All right, how's your week going? I know you got a boat extravaganza coming up tomorrow. That's exciting.
Yeah, the boat extravaganza should be fun. It's always interesting because we run 3 of those a month. So there's the breakfast, the lunch, and the cocktail hour. I think my favorite's the cocktail hour one because more people come. More breakfast, it's good, but it's really early. It's just it starts at 7, so it's just like, ooh, all right.
The only time you're going to catch entrepreneurs free is if you preempt their schedule by being the first thing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's either preempt them or basically have drinks. So, right. It's really tough getting people in the middle. So the lunch and learn isn't as well attended, but it is what it is. So we have all 3 and it's happening. So tomorrow
Nice.
is a bright and early breakfast moment. So
Oh boy. Probably dark and early these days. What time does the sun come up?
after 7, but that's okay. There's lights on the boat. It's all right.
All right. You'll get to
You
see
can
sunrise on the
still
boat.
take
That'll be
your.
nice.
Well, there you go. Plus, you get the hashtag I'm on a boat, right?
Yeah. Don't want to miss that chance. Good.
you
So let's just dive right in here. Is that a new record? What time is it?
There we go.
Hmm.
I don't know what when we hit the, because it only says when we started the Zoom meeting, but not when we hit record and when we hit live. So
Oh, okay.
don't know. Well, I'll find out in the post.
All right. So today we're going to niche for the stars.
Niche for the stars it is.
Yeah. I brainstormed that prior to coming on. What was the other one I came up with?
I like how you plan these things like 7 minutes before the actual show. But
Yeah,
don't tell me
exactly.
that's a secret.
Keeps it fresh, right?
Absolutely.
So we're talking about niche marketing. I'm looking at the wrong piece of paper. My notes are on my phone, not on a piece of paper.
But
Or-
the real question is, how do you pronounce it? Is it niche or is it niche? Because I hear both everywhere I go.
Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
got
kind of like
niche.
Naruto and Naruto, right? So,
Right,
anyway,
Naruto.
so Naruto.
I would say niche. I don't know. Niche sounds like it's to be niche would be NITCH to me.
It sounds more like a composer or some philosopher.
Frederick Nietzsche.
There you go. Maybe.
So what are we talking about when we talk about for business? When we talk about niching, what are we referring
Yes.
to?
It's just cutting down the number of people that you serve, and it's being more specific in what your offer is so that you can be more specific, really, truly, right? Because I mean, if you're trying to be kind of vanilla, like everybody likes vanilla, that's the flavor for everybody, I want to serve everybody. You can't really truly serve everybody, right? Because if you try to serve everybody, you serve nobody really at the end of the day, and then your message is kind of just falls, the wop wop sound, and we need to add these extra sounds to the soundboard. So
Hang on, I was just
sad.
Sorry, yeah, the sad sound, the trombone.
Sad trombone. Yeah, there you go.
I used to play trombone. I could just do it live.
Oh, that could be amazing.
I'm sorry if I kind of interrupted here, but I was actually just looking up the word niche, just see where it comes from and everything. And
Yeah.
I found the absolutely perfect visual representation of what we're talking about and why it matters. Can I share my screen? Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Oh,
You can share your screen if you want to. If you want to share it, you can share it now.
Okay.
So for those of you who are listening and not just watching, I'll describe what Dan has on his screen.
So are you seeing this right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
This is where the word comes from, a niche. It's an arched recess into the wall. And I realize why this is the perfect descriptor, because that's where they display things so they're more visible.
Oh, there you go.
Right? You make that recess in the wall with a nice arch over it, and you put a statue in there so people can admire it.
Right.
You don't seem excited about this as I was really excited about that as a metaphor. Because when you put something into right, when you put something into a niche, you're actually putting it aside, but in a way that it is now more noticeable. Come on.
Well, yeah,
Come on.
absolutely. Well,
Okay.
It's more noticeable because like it's more specific, right? Like, let's just put a statue somewhere random versus if you put it in a niche, then all of a sudden it's like it's special now. So
Right.
That makes absolute sense. And then the same thing goes for your business. If who do you serve? Are you breathing? Great. Can you fog a mirror? Excellent. Yes, we can serve you. So if that's the case, then the amount that you're allowed to charge for your product or service, the more niche and the more specific it is. Like do you ever lose a part to like a fancy pen? It's like, oh man, you have to go, or a fancy anything, or like you lose a part to a Bic, right? You lose a part to a Bic, you chalk the whole thing. Let's get a new one, right? Or finding parts for that everywhere, right? No problem.
That's why I own Bics and not fancy pens. He said, waving his Bic around. Yeah. Okay, got it. So you get to charge more in a more specific niche.
Well, I do have a fancy pen. I had this Mont Blanc, and the Mont Blanc is a very niche pen. I don't have it on me. It's safely stowed somewhere because it's got a diamond on it, and the diamond, instead of having the little Mont Blanc logo on it, it's got a diamond cut in the shape of the Mont Blanc logo, which is as niche as it gets. They only made so many of these things. That's as niche as it gets. If I lose a part for that stupid thing, it's going to cost me more than the whole damn pen, right? Diamond included, right? So the more niche, the more specific the thing is, the more you can charge because it's just that specific. There's not that many around, right?
So do you think that niching, I guess, well, to coin a verb out of this, making your business more and more specific? Actually, before we get into that, give me some examples. Give me some examples of a non-niche version of something versus a niche version.
So we were just doing this on the morning call today. So we have this meetup group where we bring a bunch of people in who like to answer a bunch of questions and teach them a bunch of stuff. And there were three people there who were in the financial services arena, right? And if you're in the financial services arena, it's a very commoditized space. Everyone's kind of the same. What do you sell? Well, we sell insurance. What makes you different from that insurance guy? Quality and service. Great. Right? Because everyone says that. And the hilarious thing was like without missing a beat, these people are asking me, so how do I differentiate myself in this space? The only thing that I can say is my quality of work. And I'm like, great, exactly. And so I made fun of them and I went, okay, watch this. I opened up Google Maps. I threw in financial services. I grabbed the first 20 websites I found, opened them all up, and I swear to you, they were all exactly the same. And I'm like, so why is it important to niche? Because you get to, like you said, that statue stands out when you put it into a niche. Well, every single, without fail, like 19 out of the 20 were just not interesting at all and were the exact same offer, carbon copied. And even the banks, like there was no differentiation other than the color of the background and the color of the logo. So we're in Canada, so we only got 5 big banks here, right? So the TD is the green one, the BMO is the blue one, the CIBC is the red one, right? And this is like, okay, well, here we go. And it was almost cut from the same cloth, the exact same template. Here's your financial advisor, here's our logo, here's the hours that we're open, and here's a giant long list of crap that we do. And it was like, wow, these are the most terrible websites ever. And, one of the websites I brought up stood out like a sore thumb, like a statue in a niche.
Like a statue in a niche. I was just going to say that.
Statue in a niche. Yeah. And her website actually talked about what differentiated her, who she was trying to help, what she was specifically trying to help you do. Like it was really specific down to like if I had been the target market, it would feel like they were talking specifically to me, right? And we were doing examples of this. So we just change trajectory here with weight loss, right? And instead of just saying, lose 15 pounds by Christmas, when then you can eat yourself to death and bring it all back again, there was more specific, right? So being more specific in the weight loss arena was, instead of just saying lose 15 pounds by Christmas, which in itself isn't a terrible offer, or it's like it's better than most offers that are out there, right? But a more specific offer is, make your ex turn their head and not be able to keep their eyes off you at the Christmas party, right? So, people who lost the love of their life or whatever, they broke up, they had a bad, more specific. Now it's more specific to people who are looking to date, people who are looking for that piece, right? And then if you want to go to segue that to just specific to men, right? It was, is your wife oogling the pool boy? Have her look at you the way she looks at him, right? And then that was very specific to men losing weight, right? And I know we normally don't swear in the podcast, but this headline is just too good to be to not be there.
I'll stand by with the bleep.
There you go. It's don't let the skinny bitch bleep from the office steal your man.
Yeah.
And oh man, like these specific headlines that are like very specific to just a man, or very specific to just a woman, or very specific to angsty crossed lovers, whatever, it becomes way more specific and more powerful because now it reaches out to you if you're the target market.
Right.
Versus lose 15 pounds by Friday. right?
Right, which you're trying to appeal broadly there. So you're talking a little bit about, it's a little bit the interrupt on the um
Conversion equation.
conversion formula we were talking about, I think, last week. But that interrupt is sort of the niche part of it, at least in this attention grabbing section, right?
In the attention grabbing section, the niche part makes it more specific. So because it's more specific, the chances that it'll hit his target are better, right? I think it was like one of those Karate Kid, things. I can hear it in Mr. Miyagi's voice: aim small, miss small, right?
That's one of my favorite quotes. I love that quote, actually. It's from The Patriot, Mel Gibson.
The Patriot. Oh, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, because he's teaching his kids how to shoot at the invading English officers, and he says aim for small, miss small. And fun fact, because I watched the DVD commentary on that movie, that was the actual advice that Mel Gibson's actual shooting coach gave to him before the movie, and Mel Gibson had them work it into the movie.
Oh, nice. There you go. Aim small, miss small. But yeah, I'm sure it's some old ass Japanese proverb where you have to say it like while you're lifting a house.
Just aim for a small house.
So aim small, miss small. But if you're more precise in your targeting, right? You even if you miss, you're still going to hit something, right?
Yeah.
You're just because the site and the target, the intended target, is so much smaller. It's you're going to hit some stuff along the way by accident.
Right. So the concern that I'm sure most businesses have when you tell them to stop trying to appeal to everyone and start actually picking a market is that I'm sure their sort of knee-jerk response is to say, well, I'm reducing my customer base, right? Because if you say, don't let the skinny bitch from the office steal your man, I'm not worried about that myself, but I do want to lose 15 pounds by Christmas. Right. So the concern would be you're reducing the market, demographic to which you're appealing. Please talk me, an idiot, out of my fears.
Absolutely. So I'll give you an example. Like, one of my personal trainers only trains men. Trains men. Doesn't train any women. Only trains men.
Sexist.
Over the age of 40. So
Ages?
if you're too young, he won't train you. If you're not a dude, he won't train you. And the reason behind it all is because male physiology, one, is obviously different from females, right? Females complain that guys can lose weight like this, and it takes a little longer for females to lose weight. And that's true, right? That's the way we're built, right? Their bodies were meant to hold on to fat a little longer, right? But because males can lose weight at an accelerated rate, based if our testosterone levels are high enough, this guy knows how to read blood reports. This guy knows what average testosterone should be at what age, at what point in time. He knows, what types of things work for that specified area. And because he's so precise, his results, his ability to showcase what differences and what transformations he can make in people's lives is astronomical. It's crazy. So what happens is that his case studies are precisely exactly who I was and who I'd want to be, right? So he's my personal trainer. So I'm his target.
When you say
market.
you mean you specifically?
Yeah, me specifically. And one of his promises was he could help people with diabetes. And because he said, okay, male over the age of 40, entrepreneur or executive level type person, right? Because right away he's attacking I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an executive, I'm a high powered executive, blah, blah, blah. I'm busy, I don't have time, I can't do this, I can't do that, right? And because he's targeting those specific target points, what ends up happening is it just becomes more and more and more alluring to me who the target market is, right? It's just like, oh my gosh, I'm over 40. Hey, I'm a guy. Hey, I got diabetes. And all of a sudden, the offer sounds like it was almost custom made just for me.
Right.
But in his group, there's a couple hundred people. And the funny thing is, we're all over 40. We're all executive levels, right? We all pay him a pretty good sum of money to be there. But he also provides us ridiculous results. Like ridiculous. I think this dude saved my life, right? Like it's that much of a difference because he actually cares and he checks and he's so specific. So he actually he almost has me down to he's reversed my diabetes essentially, and I'm almost back to normal, which is crazy. I'm like, whoa, holy cow. And even my doctor looks at my results and he goes, the hell did you do? Right. And so that's how come niching is so powerful, because what happens is that the community that you build is a like-minded community of the exact same right types of people that you want to be in contact with. Well, those kind of people hang out with those kind of people. So when you're that specific about who you serve and what you do, and you say no to business, right? You no longer look like you're desperate. Right? When someone says, no, I'm sorry, I don't serve that type of clientele. And, like
Powerful.
I only know how to read the blood reports from men over the age of 40. If you're age of 30, your blood reports will be very different. Your testosterone levels will be very different, right? The way you eat, the way your physiology works will all be very different. And so when the personal trainer goes, yeah, are you breathing? Yep. Can you fog a mirror? Yep. Cool. I'll train you. Versus, no, I'm only
Planet
looking
Fitness
for
style.
this. Do you tick all the boxes? Yes, then I can help you.
Yeah.
I truly, honestly believe that they can help me because it's so specific of an ask.
Right. Hey, give him a shout out. You want to give him a shout out? Free advertising?
Sure. His name is Mauro, Mauro, Mauro. So Mauro, if you're watching this, thanks, buddy. You saved my life.
Right on.
So the whole premise behind it was, be alive long enough so I can walk my daughter down the aisle, right? One day, if she ever decides to get married, cool. But at least I have the option to do that as the father of the bride. Okay, cool. I'm still alive. I'm still healthy. I'm not going to wheel her down the aisle in my wheelchair, right? You know what I mean? So the difference was, was really that. So, life-changing, life-altering transformations, and the transformations that you can promise as a super niche particular business owner are just that much more powerful. So let's switch gears here. I know you're a web guy, right? You build websites.
I am. Yes.
So I was looking at the more successful web SEO guys, and one SEO guy I know does, I think it's like something around, I won't name names, but like 17, 18 million bucks a year. And his niche is only personal trainers and only gyms. That's it. Are you a personal trainer? Are you a gym? Yes, I will work with you, but I'll only work with 2 of these guys in a particular area, because then otherwise I'm competing against myself. Right. So, but I'm a registered massage therapist. Sorry, can't help you. I'm a chiropractor. Sorry, we don't do those. Right. But then you look case study after case study after case study, he will show specifically as to which words, which sites, which things work for that niche market. And once you've done 50, 100 of this, and you've got that many positive case studies, it's almost a irresistible factor of, I got to work with that guy. And if I don't get to work with them, I'm terrified that my competitor will work with them.
Yeah.
And what are they going to know? So here's an example. I used to do the SEO for Ford, right? I'm sure you heard this before.
Ford?
I used to do the SEO for Ford.
Some kind of wagon company?
Yeah. Stands for Found on Road Dead. I'm kidding.
No,
so
surely it's in your contract not to make that joke.
I don't work with them anymore. So
okay, there you go.
I'd assume
in perpetuity you can't.
You stop hiring again. That's it. Now I can make fun of you, right? Fix or repair daily is the other one. So
or backwards, driver returns on foot.
Yes, I like that one too. So, when I was doing the SEO for those guys, right? Every dealership was crazy. They wanted the word Ford F-150 to be the thing that they ranked for, right? And I told them that's a completely useless keyword. If you trace it to the money, ain't no one buying stuff. But the moment you stick a city in front of it, Ford F-150 Milwaukee, Ford F-150, Burnaby, Ford F-150 Vancouver,
Yeah.
It turns into money. How come? Those guys want test drives, right?
Right.
The other people who are just typing Ford F-150 just want to know, hey, what color does the new one come in? They're just shopping, window shopping. They might be just doing research. Hey, can this thing tow my boat? Can this thing tow my horse? Right?
Or there might be a 12-year-old who's looking for a photo to put on their cover of their school book or something.
Exactly. Right. So there's no buyer's intent to that piece. Now, if you were trying to, compete with me back in the day, and I'm telling people this information and explaining this is the keyword that'll sell, this is the keyword that doesn't sell, you should buy these ones because these ones make you money, these ones don't do anything and they're completely useless. Who are you going to buy from? The guy who knows specifically what magic words matter, or the guy who says, yeah, I can do SEO?
Yeah. Whatever you
Doesn't
say,
matter,
I'll do
whatever.
it.
Yep. Give me money, I'll make it happen. Versus someone who's specific and has exact case studies where they're like, look, we said 15,000 clicks to the stupid word and nobody bought anything, right? So maybe we shouldn't put any money towards that, right? So
saying no is very
feels
powerful.
like, well, that's the niche power, right? So do they know what they're doing, and do they really know what they're doing? So niching down, who was it? I think it was Bruce Lee or another good martial artist that was saying, I don't fear the guy who's practiced 1,000 kicks once. I'm afraid of the guy who practiced that one kick 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm scared of the guy who practices that one kick 1,000 times. I fought lots of guys who practiced 1,000 kicks a couple times. The guys who practice the one kick and it's the only kick you see them ever use, and it's straight up terrifying because they're really good at it. It's like, ooh, don't want to get hit by that one. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to what degree now, like when you niche, like you can get really crazy niched out, you can go pretty far down on it. To what degree does the internet facilitate the niching? Like you wouldn't necessarily want to be super niche in the days before the internet because you couldn't necessarily connect with that exact demographic, or could you? I mean, has the internet changed the game as far as niching goes?
Yes and no, right? You still had to have niched before, right? So let's go to like the olden days, right? You got a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Okay. One blacksmith makes horseshoes, the little bands that go around the barrels, right? And swords. And you got one other blacksmith, and all he makes are axes. That's it. Axes. You're going to go to war. Do you want the horseshoe barrel guy or you want the axe guy? Right?
I'm just imagining medieval blacksmiths painting, hand lettering their signs, and we got a booth at the market across from each other, and they're just competing. That's raw marketing days back then.
Absolutely. But the funny thing is, like as per our previous discussion, back in the day, they actually gave you a reason why they should work with you, right? It wasn't just the jingle and the logo and the slogan and that's it, right? Axes are us, and then that's everything that they have, right?
Jerry's Blacksmiths. We're the blacksmithiest.
Well, there you go. But when I think we use the example, I take two swords and I smash them against each other, and my sword's better. Well, that's how come you pick the guy who specializes in making swords. Why? His niche was swords, right? Do you go to that guy for horseshoes? No, you go to that guy for swords. Why? Because if your sword breaks when you're in a fight, well, that's it. Now you're unarmed. Good luck with that, right?
Yeah. So but does the internet change the game at all?
Does the internet change the game? It lets you alleviate your fears as to, hey, is this actually going to work? So one of the things that the internet is really good at is measuring things, right? And I mean, if you want, I can kind of unveil the hack of the week and show you a couple of things. So
all right, let's do. We're almost there anyway. We got our hack of the week sound.
Hack of the week. Hang on.
Hack of the week.
I found. Funny enough, it was a sword swishy sound.
Yeah, we were just talking about swords. It all dovetails, man. It's all just synergy.
We planned this. We totally planned this.
Yeah,
we didn't just come up with the 7 minutes before that.
You wouldn't believe how professional we are. My God.
Here's the hack of the week. There you go. So
I was getting close to our hack of the week.
maybe we'll make that one for next time too. But
with the
so
sword
that-
in the background.
yeah,
Here,
absolutely.
you get the sword. Have you got the sword sound ready? You play it after when I talk. Are you ready?
Okay, hang on. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hack of the week.
There you go.
That sounds pretty good.
Coordination.
Yeah.
Coordination. So
All right, what is it?
credit where credit's due.
Mhm.
So you're asking, does the internet help? Absolutely. So there's this thing called the ask method. And the gentleman's name is Ryan
But
Levesque.
just for
He's
those
the
of
guy
you not listening very closely, he said ask with a K.
ask, not the axe method. I know we were talking about axes a while ago, not the
Yeah.
axe method.
Or the
Please don't
ask
Google the
method,
axe
which is
method.
something totally different.
Oh yes, no, don't go that way either.
Also a successful marketing strategy, but not what we're talking about here.
No, exactly. So the ask
There you
with
go.
a
Yeah.
K method. He came up with these like cockamamie names and these search terms to figure out whether it was okay to go after a particular niche market or not.
Mhm.
And for those of you who can't see what I'm doing, I'm going to put this on screen here at the same time, but I'm going to do it live while we're talking about this thing. So I'm going to pull up a screen share. I'm going to stop sharing my
We're
screen.
doing it live.
We're doing it live. So
We're doing
here
it
we go.
live.
This is always what gets me in trouble, because you do stuff live and then things explode, but that's all right. So I'm going to pull up a bunch of weird stuff inside of Google Trends. And so the weird things that we're going to search for in Google Trends, I'm going to talk my way through it so people who are not watching can also do this. And the 4 words, and you're never going to believe what the 4 words are, because they're pretty weird. The first word is beekeeping. Beekeeping. So this is going to be a weird hack.
Bees are on the want now.
So here's beekeeping. And then the next one we're going to add is leadership skills. Leadership skills. So what do beekeeping, leadership skills, improving memory, which is the next one, improve memory.
I am
and
absolutely enthralled and wanting to know
where
where this goes.
Orchid care. You've never seen this one before, I guess. So, so and then what you want to do is you want to boost it out to 5 years. And what you see is a bunch of squiggles on the page. So if you obviously, for those of you who can't see what I'm sharing, it's squiggles on the page. And what this shows you is a good, happy arena by which you can penetrate a market without having millions of dollars in marketing muscle and marketing firepower. So why don't we pick an
You better start
interesting
making sense
topic.
real soon there, Earl.
This is quite the hack today. So
Yeah, all right.
Dan, why don't you pick a niche? Like let's get nichey here. So don't just pick like shoes as an example. Pick a specific kind of shoe, or pick something to that nature.
High-end exclusive sneakers.
Well, yeah. So why don't we go high-end sneakers? Cool. And so you'll see high-end sneakers is purple. The purple line here is kind of a little low. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. It's kind of in between, but not. And what this tells us, and you can see here on the averages, that it's got a little search volume, but not a lot of search volume. So high-end sneakers is an okay place to go, but there's not enough people searching for it. So that's too niche, or the keyword isn't good enough for that niche. If I just type in the word shoes as an example, that's the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
If you see what happens to the form, it just blows up and all you see are shoes and everything else gets crushed down to nothing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So shoes is too much. But if I went tap dancing shoes, right? Okay, there's not enough. So clearly no one cares about tap dancing anymore.
More people, yeah.
But what if we had
like
light up shoes? Perfect. Light up shoes is exactly within the range of all these of the beekeeping, leadership skills, improved memory, and orchid care. So light up shoes is perfect. That means if you wanted to get into the niche of light up shoes, you could penetrate into the marketplace as it currently stands without spending $1 billion. So that's how you decide.
What's telling you that? Why is that the case?
because the average volumes of beekeeping, leadership skills, improved membrane and orchid care, and we pulled these over the last five years, is something that is penetratable. It's something that's big enough that you can make a dent. And essentially what the numbers add up to is that you can make $1 million within this niche without spending $1 million to get there.
Okay.
So
the volume
that's what this hack tells you.
The volume is high enough that there's money to be made, but low enough that it's attackable. It's break intoable.
It's break intoable and it's hackable.
Right. So okay, what does this have to do with how is this the ask method?
So the ask method is this came from his course, his book, his materials. So I wanted to give him credit towards it. And so like one of the asks,
what was the name of the guy?
Should I get into? Ryan Levesque.
Ryan Levesque. Okay.
Ryan Levesque. And the reason why we have this is the ask was, what niche should I get into?
Okay.
Right. And so this was a quick and dirty way to see, hey, is this niche something that I can actually penetrate into, where I can make some damage and make a room and make a name for myself, right? And kind of build it out from there. So there's your hack of the week. But so in terms of like, yeah.
There's one question I was going to ask you that we didn't really get to, but so in terms of like, you can take your business, whatever you're doing right now, personal training, yoga instructor, marketer, whatever you are, you ask what niche should I focus on, that there's money to be made, but I can still break into it. How would you know, what's a sign that your niche is too big?
If your niche is too big, it depends on the nature of who you are and what you do, right? So I'm gonna share my screen again, and I'm gonna bring up LinkedIn as an example. So I'm gonna pull up LinkedIn here, and I'm gonna share my screen. And I know some of them are just listening, but yeah, I'll narrate my way through it. Okay, people go, well, is my niche big enough? Is this big enough for me to actually truly run a business in, right? So let's pretend that I'm Dan. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend that I'm you, and I want to build websites, and I want to build websites specific to a particular group of people.
Identity theft is not a joke.
There you go.
Yeah,
but let's just say I want to build websites for accounting firms. Let's just use accounting. So I'm going to go accounting, and I'm going to pick Vancouver. So here's accounting in Vancouver, right? If I just niche down to only doing accounting, and I clicked on people, there are 16,000 people who do accounting in Vancouver. If I look up accounting in, let's call it Edmonton, pick a city nearby, right? There's still 5,300 accounting in Edmonton. If I pick accounting in Calgary, let's pick another one, Calgary. There are 19,000 people to do accounting in Calgary. Just realize there's only 365. Yeah.
How about accounting in Port Alberni?
Well, let's do Port Alberni. Port Alberni. 29.
Sounds about right.
Right. So the reason I'm doing these searches is to show you, if there's 16,000 people in your particular niche area, and you go, oh, but because all the other ones have millions of people in it. Are you going to call millions of people? Are you going to call 16,000 people? Are you going to call 5,000 people? Even if you called everybody every single day for 365 days, 5,000 divided by 365, that's more people than you can call in a year. Could you really handle 5,000 clients? Probably not, right? How many clients could you survive through? Maybe 3 to 5 per month, right? 3 to 5 good websites a month. That's plenty, right? Well, guess what? Your niche, that specific niche, if you became the best website dude for accountants, and only did websites for accountants, right? And remember, you have to pick a niche you actually like. So if you don't like accounting, don't pick that niche, right?
I'm not picking accounting, spoiler alert.
There you go. But, at 5,000, that's a lot of people in that particular niche, right? But I mean, I use the one for the gym guy as an example. That dude only makes websites and does SEO and only does marketing for gym sites. That's it. Makes 17-18 million dollars. Fan freaking tastic, right? So because they're so specific, their case studies rock, right? It's like, oh my gosh, that's me, but in Florida or Milwaukee or wherever the heck, Idaho, right? So it's like, hey, that could be me in Michigan, right? So they see their results, they see their success in others, in other places that aren't in direct competition with them, but it's directly in their niche market, right? So like even within our little jurisdiction here, right? I'm not going to go to a gym in Surrey. It's not that I don't like Surrey. I live in Burnaby. It's a long ass way to go to the gym. There's one 50 minutes away from me, right? I would go to that one, right? So that's the differentiator, right?
Nice. All right. Well, I think we're out of time here. It feels the rhythm feels off because we're not going to hack of the week when we run out of time. But any parting words of wisdom? We didn't even get to the hedgehog method.
Well, we could end on the hedgehog method. There's
all right. Let's end on the hedgehog method. They're cute and spiky. Let's do
the
it.
hedgehog method. They're hacky type, I guess, sort of. So the reason why it's called the hedgehog method is because hedgehogs only have one technique. They only have one thing that they do, right? Is when they're scared, because we used to own a hedgehog, they just ball up and they hop, right? So they ball up, they're spiky as hell, and then they jump up and down. And it's the craziest thing. I'm like, you're a ball. How are you hopping? So that confused me to this day. I don't know how they hop while they're in ball mode. And I guess that's where they got the whole Sonic the Hedgehog thing from. But maybe. But yeah, so the hedgehog method comes from a book called Good to Great. And it's 3 circles that are a Venn diagram that kind of go over top of each other. And the first circle is something that you're passionate about, something that you actually like and enjoy. So when you're picking your niche, Dan, like if you want to pick something that you only ever want to make websites for this thing for the rest of your life or the rest of your career for building websites, you should probably enjoy the thing that you pick, right? Like
harmonica players.
So yeah, but then we got to check to see are there enough of those guys using the ask method, using the hack of the week. Then we have to check, do harmonica players have enough money to pay you?
Oh, right? No, definitely not.
Obviously got to make money, right? And the last thing is, can you be the best in the world at it? Can you be the #1 harmonica player making website guy in the world?
That part, yes. The other two,
achievable. Yeah. So if all 3 don't hit, then it's not going to work, right? Like the hedgehog method shows you what is this one thing that you do that hits all those targets. And if you can find this piece, there's what'll make you happy. There's what'll make you money. And because you're the best in the world at it, you become the only choice for people who want to build that particular type of site. Like there's this dude in Japan who, for I can't remember how many generations of his family, are the guys who are the best chopstick makers in the world. If anybody wants like high-end fancy chopsticks, I can't remember the name, but there's a family in Japan that's all they've done for multiple generations, and everybody knows, oh no, you go to these guys to get the ceremonial fancy chopsticks.
Right.
How come? They've been doing it for hundreds of years. No one can beat this family making chopsticks, right? So there's their hedgehog, there's their niche. How many chopsticks did they sell? Gajillions.
What always strikes me when I see a company that is a very, very niche company, but they're blowing money on a great piece of real estate with high foot traffic.
Right.
And I think like for example, where I was living in Port Alberni, there was a company there, a business there, selling like, I don't know, like, Magic the Gathering type cards.
Yes.
I don't know what that category. There you go. There's a category of that.
I'm seriously considering playing again, by the way. So.
Okay. Duly noted. You can show me how. I've always wondered.
Cool.
But you know what, those types of things, and then like the figures to go along with them, right? And they were occupying a corner lot in a high traffic area of town, of which there was only like 2 high traffic areas in the whole town. And I always kept thinking, you could be located anywhere. You're the only game in town. People will find you. You don't need to spend the money on the foot traffic.
Right. I think their hope in that regard is to spark interest in people who aren't their current target market, but are within their demographic of people who would play that game, right? So they're still going after that. Yeah, you're right. They could have gone anywhere in town because it was the only place. But if they want to increase their market share and reach, it's still location, location, location.
That's fair. That's why you're the genius and I'm the idiot.
It's all good. So
Hey,
there's only
I
5
have
building
my
blocks.
role. I'm comfortable.
There you go.
What's that?
Only 5 building blocks. One of them is leads. Location equals free leads, right? Well, not free because probably your rent is really high, but then
extremely expensive block.
As long as you're getting the conversions, that's all that matters.
Cool. All right. On that note, I think we'll wrap up. Thank you very much, Earl. Oh, we got the outro ready?
Cheers, Dan. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. Let me go use my fancy stream deck here.
Thank you everyone for joining us, tuning in. And we will get the website set up that is mentioned in the outro. You were supposed to give me the keys to that so I could build something.
Right. I guess we'll do that this week then. So there you go. All right. Well, here comes the outro.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.